expire. Oh, yeah. Well, it's another Thursday again today. And I'm here today that I want to share with you something. I want to share with you something that I believe that a lot of people have forgotten about. I mean, as a speaker, I don't speak only to sell. Okay, let's get that right. Because I know a lot of people out there speak to sell. They just want money. No, but I want to speak to change a life. I want to speak so that I can stand for something. I want to speak so that when you hear me in your heart and mind, transformation happens. You know, when we talk about transformation, we talk about the change of one's outer form from one which it was to another, which is the result of an inner change. So what that means is the change has to happen within first before it can show on the outside. And one key factor that determines how we change or the impact we make through our change, one key factor that we should never ever let go is faith. Oh yeah. I'm going to talk today about faith. I'm going to talk about what makes the impossible become possible. I want to talk about what makes you change your inner and indeed see the repercussions of that on the outer. I want to talk about one of the most important forces that govern the life we live right now. There's one famous author that wrote that three things would forever last on the face of the earth. And those are what? Faith, hope, and love. Yes, faith, hope, and love. And in this world we are in right now, I think we lack a lot of those. Oh yeah, I think we do lack so much of those three things. Faith, hope, and love. We lack so much. Nobody wants to believe anymore. Whenever you want to talk about faith, people go like, oh, it's a religious matter. Okay, let's get it right. Okay, let's get this right first. That faith is the ability to believe in things that don't exist as yet. Faith didn't say it belongs to Catholics. Faith didn't say it belongs to Protestants. Faith did not say that it belongs to Buddhists. No. Napoleon Hill. As long as you believe it, you can achieve it. Walt Disney. Imagination is the preview of the future. Only if you believe, then your imaginations will come to life. So what is your faith? Why do you put your faith in? Ladies and gentlemen, the reason why I want to emphasize on this is because, you see, when I was sleeping in a shack where the rent was less than $20. Okay, I mean, when I'm talking about rent being less than $20, I want you to imagine as wildly as possible how crazy this place was. That's the place where mice will come and eat your food and bully you on top. They will look at you like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Yeah, you have these big mice. It's almost as if they are mutant mice. They will eat your food and bully you on top. I mean, when I was sleeping in that shack, there were days where I would question myself. There were days where I would question my existence. There were days where I would question my God and ask, is this what I am destined to be? Is this what I'm destined to live? Was the mistake of me leaving my home in the quest of a dream? In the quest of the purpose that God has set for me? Is it a mistake for me for having done that? I will be questioning myself in those times. And I'll be crying my heart out and praying and believing that very soon something will happen for me. But before I got to the believing and praying part, the truth is, I dealt a lot with unbelief. I dealt a lot with doubt. I dealt a lot with fear. I dealt a lot with low self-esteem. Yes, you're never going to hear me stop talking about this because those three are also the poison that kill your faith. When people will come and question me, and they will say, do you think you got a future sleeping in this shack? Why don't you go back home at the first place? Do you think you're gonna be able to find on this journey what you're looking for? Just give up, go back home. Call things to existence as though they were. And I will speak to them and say, very soon, oh yeah, wait for me, okay? Very soon, you will see where I will be. And that's when the faith kicks in. Very soon, you will see where I will land. Oh, it wasn't soon, ladies and gentlemen. It wasn't even soon before I rose from sleeping in a shack where I couldn't even afford the rent of $20 to leading over 600 people and accounting for more than $50 million a year. Oh yeah, you know what I'm talking about. If you believe it, you can achieve it. So why am I telling this today? Why am I bringing this important factor here? It's because whether you are in your life or in your business, you need faith to make anything happen. I don't care whether you are black or white, yellow, green, blue, small or tall, from Africa, from Europe. You want to believe in something. I mean, look, this is no fun. Okay? This is not an attack to anybody, but I hear people talk about atheists a lot. Okay, Friedrich Nietzsche, one of my greatest philosophers, he said he was atheist too. Now, the funny thing is, claiming that you don't believe in anything is believing in something. You see how the world is made? It's made in a way that whether you like it or not, you've got to believe in the fact that you do not believe. So why not believe at all? You've got to believe in your dreams. You've got to believe in your ability. You've got to believe in yourself. And you've got to believe over and above to the creator that gave you life to wake up and pursue those dreams and goals. Oh yeah. Now, regardless of the faith that we have, regardless of the amount of faith that we have, we go through times of trials. I mean, I had worked relentlessly. My first year in retail, where I worked for 3 years, non-stop, 7 days a week, 12, 15 hours a day, doing every single day. Hi, ma'am, how are you? Come closer. Let me tell you why my vacuum cleaner sells like nobody's business. Hi, sir, how are you? If you can stop for a minute, I will tell you why. You have to buy this vacuum cleaner for yourself, for your mom, and for your mother-in-law. Yes, I did that every single day, 7 days a week, believing that I'm gonna go somewhere. And when the breakthrough happened, 2 years down the line, leading 600 people, I went from there to losing everything. Yeah, back to zero, back to the four-way, back to not knowing where to go, back to not knowing where to lay head, back to the beginning. Whoa. I mean, those days, I question myself. But I ask myself, all of this suffering that I've gone through, days with hunger, days with no shelter, days with no place to call home, days not to go to anybody. I walked up to people that looked at me and said, they spit on me, that we don't want you around. Having gone through all those days, I questioned myself, don't I deserve a great life? When I was at that four-way, when I had lost everything after building up from scratch, I gotta tell you, I was tried. I've gotta tell you that it was tough. And Robert Schuller says it very well, that tough time never lasts, but tough people always do. Oh yeah. One of the greatest books that I've ever read says that when we believe enough, when we knock, it shall be open. When we seek, we shall find. When we ask, it shall be given to us. So I was in that four-way. What do I do next? And I gotta tell you that my faith was daunted. Yeah, it was daunted. Okay, my faith was hit. But here's what I did. Every day, I would go back to reading. Do not conform to the things of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Everywhere, every day, I will go back to reading. If you seek, you shall find. If you knock, it shall be open. If you search, you shall get it. And that's where I go. And I read that every single day. Why? Because by reading that every single day, what I do is reconditioning my thinking, going from unbelief to belief. I don't know if you know the story of Sarah and Abraham, but Abraham was 100 years old and his wife Sarah was 70 years old. They looked for a child their entire life. But it's by faith that they got what they wanted. It's by faith that you too can get what you've been seeking for in your life. It's by faith that you're going to turn your business around from where it is right now to the next level. It's by faith that your dreams are going to come to life. It's by faith that you are going to achieve your goals. It's by faith that your purpose will be fulfilled. It's by faith. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Somebody hold me back. It's by faith that you're going to call things that do not exist in your life to existence. Oh, yeah. 3 forces will forever dwell on this earth: faith, hope, and love. What are you believing in right now? Where is your faith at? Okay, now this is not a campaign for you to believe in anything, though my belief is in God. I'm not campaigning to believe in anything, but what I'm campaigning you to do is not to give up on yourself, to at least look in the mirror and believe that you've got what it takes. Is to look into the mirror and believe that the person that is in the mirror can make things happen. That's what I'm talking about. Faith, hope, and love. In this crazy world right now where Corona has just again muted, I mean, I don't understand this particular thing. It's mutant and it's this version and that version. I don't get it. Just now we think the world is going back to where it was, and then there's a new version. Just now when we think everything is being restored, then there's a new version. Just now when we think that everything is gonna now go back to us going to shows and concerts. I mean, I want to travel the world and speak. I mean, I love doing this on camera, don't get me wrong, because I can reach out to the world, but I want to travel and go speak into various events in Australia, in Canada, in USA. I am dying to travel and go speak in front of 10,000 people. I can't wait. And we got to come back to normal, man. And the only way we can do that is by holding on to faith. It's by holding on to hope. Is by holding on to love. You know, last year I was speaking in Bali, and before I could be called onto stage, I was waiting in the back, and there was this white guy that spoke before me. He has read through my bio, and he walked up to me and he said, "Hey man, you going after me, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." "And I read that you from Togo, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then can you imagine? This guy looked up to me and he asked me, "Do you think people are gonna hear what you've got to say?" I'm like, "What?" And he asked me, "Do you think that this crowd can relate to Africans because you're an African?" I'm like, "What? Man, what are you talking about? Did you think I got here by not believing in myself or my story? Or do you think I got here by believing in those bias that you want to feed me right now?" I said, "No. Let me step on stage and do better than what you have done. Let me step on stage and show you that I from Africa, that though I am who I am, I've got the faith, I've got the belief that everything that I touch turns to gold. I've got the faith and belief that everything that I hold, oh yeah, has got the mark of Stephen Dosu." Ladies and gentlemen, You want to hold on to faith, hope, and love. On that note, remember, you can be great, and I will see you on top. Bye-bye.